So the Indiana Fever fans are furious with this signing. Absolutely furious with the fact the Fever have signed someone who appears to be a Caitlin Clark hater in Brianna.
Indiana Fever just picked up Brianna Turner, and wow, talk about instant turbulence. Turns out, she's thrown shade at Caitlin Clark in the past. Yep, that Caitlin Clark, the one she's now expected to call a teammate. Fever fans are side-eyeing like, sis, you sure you're in the right locker room? The drama's already sizzling like a Steph Curry heat check, and training camp hasn't even tipped off.
Sign Brianna Turner, it seems to us anyway, like, was that just a line of BS? Because I can't imagine why you would sign her. I understand she's supposed to be this great defensive player, but is it worth taking a flamethrower to your fan base and your locker room, by the way?
The Fever were cooking up a masterpiece in free agency. Everything was lining up just right. The ingredients were there, the roster was taking shape, and the fans were fired up. Then boom, Brianna Turner steps into the mix, and suddenly the recipe starts tasting a little off. She was hyped as a defensive anchor, the missing piece to lock down opponents and elevate the squad. Fans were expecting blocks, seals, and shutdown defense. Instead, they got a Twitter storm spacier than a buzzer beater in double overtime.
I haven't seen this before, but kudos to them for publicly honoring all they've accomplished this season. I'm confused. Is this what runner-up does? It does if you're Iowa. I'm sorry, it does. It's like when it's a Cinderella run. Like, you don't have to win. Like, you don't understand. People do not understand. This was a team that went to back-to-back Cinderella runs.
Turns out, Turner had a lot to say about Caitlin Clark, and this wasn't some recent side-eye. Nope. These takes were vintage, pre-Fever, pre-WNBA, straight out of the college rivalry vault. And when fans started digging up those old tweets, yikes, it got ugly fast. Imagine signing a top-tier bodyguard, only to discover she once went viral trashing your franchise star. That's exactly the mess the Fever just walked into. The tweets read like a personal highlight reel of Turner going in on Clark and her Iowa squad. Now she's headed straight into the locker room where Clark is the centerpiece. It's like applying for a job after publicly calling the CEO cringe. And that still doesn't cover the whole awkward vibe. Show tweet.
And you took time after every single game to sign autographs for fans, whether you were home or away out of tournament. Why did that mean so much to you to take that time?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, I used to be in those young girl shoes, whether you're a young boy, young girl. I ran around with two brothers that idolized girls and boys and wanted to be like them. And I think those are the people that allowed me to dream and want to be in moments like this. So it was something I enjoyed. I would say you all inspired me just as much as I inspired you. And you allowed me to live out my dream every single day. And for that, I'm forever thankful. So thank you. It's been very special. And this place will always be home to me. And I hope to be back at a lot of games. And I encourage all of you to do the same and continue to support this team the way that you have over the course of the last 2 years. So thank you.
So the Fever signed Brianna Turner, a player who barely saw the court last season. And what do fans get? Someone who didn't just take shots at Caitlin Clark, but went after the entire Iowa fan base and even the legendary senior class that helped redefine women's basketball. Turner called out Kate Martin and Gabby Marshall just for celebrating the very team and supporters that pushed the sport into the mainstream. It's wild, signing a role player who came in swinging at the heart of what made this season so iconic.
Why? Indiana fans are not happy. Obviously, Caitlin Clark had to say yes to this decision, but they're not happy because Brianna Turner has said a whole lot about a whole lot. And I'm going to jump into it real fast to show the levels of hypocrisy of the WNBA. I keep telling you that the WNBA is a hypocrite league, and they're filled with bullshitters and liars, and it just continues.
To put it in basketball terms, Turner just lobbed an accidental self-oak for the haters. It's like running a flawless fast break, only to trip over your own shoelaces at the rim. And fans? Oh, they're letting her hear it. Social media is lit up like a playoff game in overtime. Some are laughing at the irony, others are fuming, and a bunch are just kicking back with popcorn, enjoying the drama unfold. One thing's certain, Turner didn't have to take a single step on the court to shake up the Fever's season. Indiana went from thinking they signed a defensive game changer to wondering if they just brought in Caitlin Clark's biggest critic. And you know Clark's seen the tweets. Whether she says anything or not, she's got a front row seat to the chaos.
I don't know, Indiana Fever fans, if they're interested in a good basketball player and a good rim protector, you will enjoy, Brianna Turner, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
This whole situation feels more like a reality TV plotline than a sports story. 1 minute, Turner's a solid free agency pickup, and the next, she's public enemy number one to a fan base that was just starting to warm up to her. The comparisons are endless. It's like inviting someone to your wedding, only to find out they once posted a Facebook rant about how terrible your music taste is, or hiring a chef who once tweeted that your favorite dish is gross. You get the idea. Indiana Fever thought they were signing an elite defender, but instead, they got a PR disaster. And the worst part, it's all self-inflicted. No scandalous headlines, no off-court drama, just some old tweets resurfacing, proving that the internet never forgets. Now, the big question is, what happens next? Turner's got to show up, play her heart out, and somehow convince fans that she's here to help the Fever, not bring them down. But winning them over won't be easy, because if there's one thing basketball fans never do, it's forget receipts. And Brianna Turner just learned she's sitting on the wrong side of the biggest one Indiana Fever fans have seen in a long time.
Feel free to unfollow, mute, or block me if that is bothersome to you. Always protect your peace. She goes on to say, I will not bend the knee or change my online advocacy efforts to...
Brianna Turner is already off to a rocky start with Indiana Fever fans, and honestly, no one's shocked. The moment her signing was announced, fans groaned, not because she isn't a solid player, but because they saw exactly what was coming. And guess what? They were right. Turner wasted no time making herself the villain by blocking fans who dared question her past comments about Caitlin Clark. Let's be real. Brianna Turner has a history of taking shots at Clark. While Clark was dominating in college, Turner was one of many WNBA players throwing shade, both subtle and not so subtle, at her success. Now, she's suddenly teammates with the very player she's criticized. Yeah, that's not going to sit well. Fever fans are already wondering how she'll fit into a locker room that should be rallying around Clark, not trying to tear her down.
Had no problem signing with the Indiana Fever. Because the reality is, these women don't believe the things that they say. It makes it very hard to take anything that they say for what they say. Even to the point of, oh, look at this. Brianna Turner, 2/17/25. That was today. She's on Twitter today. I'm not even having to go back to look at these other things.
Instead of trying to win fans over, Turner's on a blocking spree. Mention her old tweets or question why she's suddenly cozy with Caitlin Clark. Boom, you're blocked. It's like she thinks dodging the truth will make people forget what she said. Sorry, Brianna, but the internet never forgets. Now, compare this to someone like Aliyah Boston, who's been nothing but welcoming to Clark. Boston, an all-star in her own right, gets it. Having Clark on the team is a win. She's stepping up as a leader, embracing the challenge, and recognizing that Clark only makes the team stronger. Meanwhile, Turner's out here acting like a petulant child who got caught talking behind someone's back. Fever fans wanted players who would build chemistry, not tear it apart. But now they've got Turner, who might single-handedly ruin the locker room vibe. Imagine Clark walking into the locker room, ready to get to work, and there's Turner, arms crossed, side-eyeing her, acting like she hasn't spent the last year downplaying Clark's talent. That's awkward. That's tense. That's exactly what this team doesn't need.
Folks, we are less than 96 hours removed from signing Brianna Turner, and she's tweeted multiple things. She has yet to tweet, happy to be here in Indiana, happy to be a part of the crew. Instead, she gets on her bully pulpit now that she is on a team with fans that actually might give a shit about her. Did that sound harsh? Oh well. She went on her bully pulpit, now that she has a bigger platform because she's associated with America's team, and she wastes, I hate misogyny, as we all